And welcome to all the Virgos out there. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of October 2012. Now, October 2012 is a very interesting month for all the signs. Why is that? Because there is a beautiful trine going on between Saturn and between Neptune. So that is for all of us. But what will it mean, especially in general, for the Virgos? Now, let's have a look. I talked about that in the earlier monthly horoscopes. Now, that Neptune is just at the very beginning of Pisces. And that's your 7th house. That's the other person. And Saturn is going to be at the very beginning of Scorpio in your 3rd house. And they're going to trine. So as I explained, Saturn is really about manifesting. And the 3rd house is all about communication. Because this is in Scorpio, it will be deep communication, intense communications. And I think a lot of Virgos will be able to do that. If they want to speak or to write, and they want it to be effective, they have the ability to do that. They also have the ability to think very deep and very intense and not letting it go. That's all about Saturn and in Scorpio. It's very much about what goes around comes around, or what comes around goes around. But it's very much about not letting go and really getting to the roots of the matter. For your case, for Virgos, it's about this communication. Now, with this beautiful trine with Neptune in your 7th house, maybe you are going to be inspired by the one that is close to you, or people you work with one-to-one, because Neptune is actually all about inspiration, and it's about, you could say, spirituality, but it can also mean that it wants to see beyond the boundaries. And Saturn really makes sure that, you know, what Virgos really do like, to have our feet, I say our because I'm a Virgo as well, to have our feet on the ground. So, and especially those Virgos who have personal planets or an ascendant about 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees of Virgo. They will sense that the most, this transit, because this Neptune in the 7th house isn't always easy for Virgos. You know, the people they are going to attract are going to be very Neptune-like. So, and a Virgo really wants things to be clear and things to be, they want to analyze and they want to know what they're up to. And with Neptune, it's not always clear. But now Saturn is trining Neptune. So that's good for the Virgos, because Saturn is really going to try to ground that and to make sure that all this fog goes away. There's no fog. So this transit is really very interesting for the whole month of October. And that Saturn in the 3rd house will be for a long time. So this is just the beginning. Saturn will be there more than 2 years in your 3rd house. So it's all really about maybe taking a new course, or maybe learning something new, or maybe go to class, or maybe studying. You know, you do it yourself at home and you're reading about something. But it always be something Scorpio-like. So something very deep, something very intense, and maybe transformative for you. Maybe you're going to change because of that. So that Saturn in the 3rd is a long transit. That's on the background. What else is happening for Virgos? Now, another good thing that is happening for Virgos is Venus in your sign. For almost the whole month of October, Venus is in your sign. So that's also very good to get along with other people. Actually, it's very good that you kind of attract people more towards you because you've got Venus in your sign. That should be more charming than usual. and yes, more attracting other people. So that's very nice. But there's something going on in the middle of the month. There is a square going on, and it's not about Pluto and Uranus this time. This time, Jupiter is actually involved. Jupiter is the ruler of your 7th house, so it represents the other person close to you. But Jupiter is in your 10th house. And what is going on with Jupiter? Well, having Jupiter in the 10th house is very interesting for all that has to do with your career, all that has to do with you trying to show yourself to the world. It doesn't matter in which way. Maybe you're just trying to start something new that is expensive in some kind of way, because that is what Jupiter symbolizes. Now, this Jupiter in your 10th house, it's already been going on for quite a while, but something happens with it, and it's a build-up in the middle of the month. So it's not terrible, not at all, but there's a bit of a friction going on between that Jupiter in the 10th, Mars, you know, the planet of action in the 4th, and it squares up to Venus in your 1st house. Now that all sounds complicated. What does it mean? It's very simple. And when you see an opposition between Mars and Jupiter, there's always something going on. You know, these two planets, they represent action, and they represent Jupiter is about a lot. It's about expensive. So but I don't think it's going to be bad for Virgos, because, you know, they just want to be they're Virgos normally, very generally, they're not the kind of person that wants to be in the spotlight all of the time, and they don't like to exaggerate unless they have a lot of planets in Sagittarius. But normally they don't want to do that. But now this two planets, Mars in the 4th, so action at home, and Jupiter in the 10th, so expansion at work, they are going to oppose each other. Which means always Mars and Jupiter, it's about going a bit over the top. Or and as Mars is in Sagittarius in your 4th house, it's already, Mars in Sagittarius is already doing things boldly and doing things, or trying to do things, you know, to be very active, and maybe with not great tact. But again, because you are a Virgo, I don't think it will be any problem, but expect that there is maybe going to be a bit of a tension at your work and at your home, and that reflects your how you present yourself. So could be anything. Could be that you really want that promotion at work, and that you're really active at home because of your work, and maybe the people who are living close to you really don't like it, but this is something that is going to resolve itself anyway, because it's only, I'm talking about a day or 3, that in the middle of the month that is going to be a bit, you know, you feel that friction, that tension a little bit. But with all this, again, the fixed stars are involved. And what is that? Well, the fixed stars, I talked about it earlier, Spica is relevant again, and it overrules everything. And there is this new moon after, or in the middle, when this is happening, that square, there is also a full moon in Libra in your 2nd house on the star Spica, which always means you'll be fine, which always means this is very protective. So that is very good. You know, actually all what I've said isn't important anymore. That's the most important thing. You'll be fine no matter what happens, but you have to go through that, you know. You have to, there's something about work and home that you have to clear out for yourself. And so yes, with these fixed stars, you'll be fine. And that Mars and Jupiter are also on fixed stars. And the star Antares, the star of endings, and also the star of beginnings is involved. So maybe there is a cutting off of something and a new beginning of something else. Could be the case too for you Virgos. Now, and because that new moon is occurring in your second house, it's also about self-worth. So no matter what you do around the middle of the month, you will gain self-worth of it. So go for it. Really, Virgos, it's time for you to go for it, to be a Virgo as best as you can with all the good qualities that Virgo has. You know, this being in service, but also not letting other people take advantage of that, you being in service. And you can do that. You can really do that, you Virgos. I'm just checking if I haven't forgot anything, and I don't think so. I think this is the most important thing for you. Yes, so Virgos, I wish you all the best. If you want a private me to look at your private chart, just get in touch. I'll put a link. I wish you all the best for October, and see you soon. Bye bye, Virgo.